What's good, everybody? It is Y and Z, a conversation between the generations. I represent Generation Y, aka better known as the Millennials. That copycat over there, because that's what they do best, is Gen Z, the other half of that equation. Xavier D. Lewis is their representative. How are you, my brother, this week?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Look, I'm amazing. Hopefully, you're out there potentially, hoping that no missiles come overseas.
Well, the ceasefire is in effect apparently now. So,
Okay, because when he was like, "Oh yeah, we bombed them," I was like, "Oh, I live in a major port city. I'm just a little worried."
my high got so ruined on Saturday, and I don't mean like a smoking high. I was, my community, my
Enjoying
neighborhood was
life.
doing our Juneteenth celebration. Black folk was out there, we having a good time. Folks was eating, drinking, playing some spade, good time. And then, around 8 o'clock our time, the word starts spreading, and it was just like, ah. Anyways, like, share, subscribe. We appreciate any time you're choosing to spend with us today. Sir, you were talking before we hopped on here real quick.
Man, look, so I told Clark, I was like, I didn't realize he had that tattoo right there on him, right? And then I said it was just the tattoo placement is such a millennial thing to me in my head because, the millennial thing is, oh, you get tattoos in places that are going to be covered on a daily basis unless you deem to show it with particular attires.
Yeah.
Because especially in like corporate America, you don't want to necessarily have your tattoos out, things of that nature. Meanwhile,
You over
I
there.
did the Gen Z thing.
Right.
If my first tattoo is on my forearm, it's always gonna show unless I have on a button down to the wrist shirt. It's always gonna show. And I just thought that was just such a millennial thing though, because it's like corporate America in mass. And still to this day, for the most, I mean, not for the most part, maybe like it's more like 75-25, maybe 50-50 some areas, that's not very accepting of like tattoos or visual things showing in your attire. So it was just like such a millennial thing when they came into the work market, when they were getting their tattoos, they had to be very cognizant of the next 10, 15 years of their life while getting it.
Also, okay, so yes, it is. That's how I got it. It was purposely structured. As you can see, the tan line, that's generally where my shirt runs off. So when I'm wearing a shirt with sleeves, short sleeve, yeah, maybe this bottom part is the only thing that sticks out. So unless I
I
bring the
didn't
guns
even
out.
notice the tan line. That is very
Yeah.
strategic.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, it's Texas. I don't bring the guns out all the time, but it's hot right now. And so, yes, I got it with that understatement is yeah, like I only want you to see it if I choose to show it to you. Like, because we all know the stereotypes or, how people will judge you. And yes, it's very millennial because that's how we were raised. I think we are very much that crucial middle
Yeah.
generation where it's like, okay, you want to be, individualistic or do these things, but just do them in a smart way. So yeah, unless the
That's
guns are out,
very
you don't
true.
see it, or you may see the peaks when the shirt's a little fitted. And, that's, but anywho, we're not gonna waste any more time there. We got to get into something big. You had something?
No, I didn't have anything
Okay.
else, man. I just found it very interesting. I love it though.
Yeah, Gen Z throws all care to the wind, as we have seen. Anywho, so last show, we're gonna take a break for the summer because it's just the world is ugh right now. It's so much ish and just crap, and I need a break. But before we get out of here, we got to talk about this AI thing. Because honestly, it's just popping up everywhere, and it is moving
Fast.
fast as fuck. The inspiration for this conversation is an article I'll post it in the link description talking about how essentially because of the way people are using Chat GPT and those things like that, especially as we know that generation over there. Google is literally starting to lose power because people aren't going to its search results anymore. And like literally talking about how Google doesn't have anything to feed itself to an extent because everybody's going and using AI as literally the new Google, which is wild because it literally
Very.
destroys a big part of the digital ecosystem. And while I don't say it's necessarily correct, thoughts, young blood.
Yeah, man, I think it's very interesting. I think people just hop on whatever the new thing is, and unfortunately, they've hopped on Chat GPT in such a sense where they don't know how to just like leverage the two, like use ChatGPT and Google. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Instead, they are more like, let's go gung ho right into ChatGPT, not realizing all ChatGPT is doing is using Google's algorithms. You know what I'm saying? But what is taken away is the metrics and the analytics that companies get from like traffic sites and how well you're doing, how many logons, click throughs, and all that kind of stuff. That is gonna really mess with some people's a lot of these sites' money. It's gonna really look because it's basically gonna monopolize. Crazy enough, it's gonna monopolize site traffic and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just gonna be so very interesting to see what happens these next couple of years. Maybe ChatGPT just takes a back seat. I don't know. Maybe people get to be like, oh, that's my fun toy. Okay, I'm done with it now. That's it. I don't know.
You got to be kidding me, bruh. To an extent, like, are you not scared by this at all? I'm just curious because there's
Oh no. I'm gonna tell you when I first got scared. I was scared when they were playing these clips of songs and it was AI being the voice of someone that at which point I was like, whoa. We're going a little bit too far. Why am I listening to Luther Vandross sing Residuals by Chris Brown? It's scary. It's very scary. I mean, can you imagine the days when your worst fear was not being able to recognize a fake ID?
bruh,
What about now?
bruh. Okay,
With these AI videos?
so there's two that really caught my attention this last week. There's the one I think we all saw, homegirl eating the chicken leg, and swallowed the whole bone. And it literally wasn't until I was like, okay, no, that's AI. She took off. No. Then there was another follow up about something. It's like this stuff is getting starting to get real scary because I remember it was just late last year where they were talking about these digital profiles and things of that nature, and here we are completing the halfway point of this year, and that stuff was looking like I can still tell, I can still see it, but it's getting to the point where it's getting harder and harder to the point where, yeah, who knows, by the end of this year, you're not going to be able to tell the difference. And y'all don't know no better anyway. Like
No, because they're
y'all are
going to
fully
keep
like something
going.
interacting with me. Sure, I'll interact with it back and I'll treat it as such.
It's so disheartening. And I think people are still in their mind right now thinking, oh, just because it's still just in the digital space, we're gonna be fine. We're fine. But think about this. The digital space has become the world for a lot of people. They don't even know how to live in the natural world because their whole world is lived in a digital space.
You're not going to be able to trust your own eyes, which I think is the scariest thing. Excuse me, sorry. You're going to have to, I didn't mean to burp into the mic like that. You're going to have to literally question anything you see that you physically cannot reach out and touch right there. Which
Yes.
means anything on a screen, you're going to have to question, is this real? And that's terribly, a terrible way to live. Like, you can't believe your own eyes, which then we see how gullible some people are in this world with their soloed existence and echo chambers online. You're only going to believe what you choose to believe or what you want. Like we're seeing the repercussions of this ish now with that clown in office. Like,
Almost definitely.
what is society going to be when you can't trust your own?
All I'm gonna say is the day I start getting whiffs of these like humanoid androids. Oh,
iRobot,
oh.
here we come. You know,
At which point I just because already I'm like, first of all, I'm glad I'm not in the dating market. That in itself is scary. Could you imagine thinking you talking to a real person? They sending you videos, and it's an AI created video, and you
videos,
don't
pictures,
know.
interacting in ways that yeah, computer's not going to interact like this. Nah, that's somebody real. No,
It is diabolical, if you ask me.
especially in a world where it's becoming everything is tailored to you. My echo chamber.
Yes,
AI is going to be like, oh, that's what you like? Here you go.
I can spit it back out to you 10 times better.
and get you addicted just like that. And you're going to think this is the greatest thing in the world. And then also, because we also see that y'all don't like to challenge stuff anyway. Y'all are just
Bruh.
like, oh, this fits. Y'all don't want hard work. Y'all want the easy relationship. A relationship shouldn't be struggle. Okay, real relationships between two different real people are going to have some struggles. It's
Yes.
life. It's natural. But nah, this relationship with an AI bot, God forbid the physical stuff. That's another road. But y'all like to be digital online anyway. It's catered to you. Why the hell am I gonna go like?
It's crazy. I can remember it really has it's gonna start having to get back to that. Let's meet up in person. You can't trust the let's get on FaceTime because you used to get away with that. You'd be like, oh, let's get on FaceTime. Let me see if this really who I think it is.
Y'all
You
don't
can't even trust that.
y'all don't like to go outside because y'all can't drive. Y'all still live with your mama, and it's going to and global warming got this place too damn hot. Like there's going to be every barrier stopping you from actually meeting up. Because no, y'all not going to want to meet outside. Hey, let's FaceTime.
Oh,
But I guarantee you, at some point, the AI going to be able to FaceTime with you in real time.
I definitely believe that.
Like there is nothing that says this is about to be limited, and any way,
No,
shape, or form for the benefit of people. Because on the other hand, like slight shift is over the past couple of weeks, all the job stuff. People now are starting to come out. Some of these employers and some of these heads are talking about, yeah, AI is reducing our headcount. We're telling people to go look upskill, and it's like people sitting here trying to gaslight, talking about, yeah, AI ain't going to take jobs. These companies are literally like, yeah, we're going to downsize because of AI.
they would much rather put money into a system that does not challenge them than hire human personnel that could potentially give them reason to change.
It's all control. If I can control my bottom line, because we all know one of the biggest um, expenditures of a company
Almost definitely, it's
is
the bottom line.
this people size. HR is one of the biggest expenditures because you need people to do the work. So it's been one of the hardest things to cut back on because you need people to do the work. But we've always seen how companies are willing to lay off when the budget line gets tight or whatever. Why wouldn't, if I'm able to do the same work and make the same bottom line and reduce the people needed to do that, why aren't I going to do that? Why do I believe these companies, out of the goodness of their heart, care whether I'm able to eat, support my family, or work? Like, no, they want to make the bottom line. Which then, unfortunately,
Simple
the
as
other
that.
side of that is you're going to have an economy which can't support it because nobody's working enough to like. It's I don't know I don't know where the line's going to be, but this
That's what I'm
stuff is
saying. I don't think there has been. I think we just need some world leaders to get together and be like, okay, what's the ceiling for this? Because I think right now they're just kind of letting it go willy nilly, and I'm like, oh, no, I'm not cool with that. I'm not cool. I just need somebody to stand up as a human and say, we've watched too many movies, read too many books to not know how this is gonna end.
But here's the problem with your generation specifically. We just talked about this a couple weeks ago with the whole college thing. Y'all are like, we know this is bad. I know this isn't good. Hey, Chat GPT, can you write this paper for me? Knowing all the impacts, economical, whatever it may, global, environmental, whatever it may be, y'all are like, yes, this is bad. We shouldn't be doing this. But my paper is due in 5 minutes, and I'm gonna have Chat GPT write it for me.
What people don't understand is, so theoretically, let's go to like college papers, right? There used to be a legitimate market. If you were good at writing papers, you could charge other students maybe 5, 10,
Side hustle.
15,
I'll
twenty
write your paper.
dollars.
I'll write your paper.
I'll write your paper for you. I got you. Because of Chat GPT and AI, no longer is that. And I think that's a very small scale, but that's what it's going to keep scaling upwards to. What I used to get paid to do because I was a specialty at it, a specialist at it, AI is going to take that from me. I don't think people are going to, I don't think they're grasping that.
Well, I think we're seeing it. You're going to see it first in the creative sector because we see a lot of debates around this in the creative sector, and as one who has been in that sector, like I remember 10 years was about yeah, it's about 10 years ago at this point. Some of the first inclinations around the voice stuff, like talking about, being able to replicate voices or do the AI being able to do these things. And I remember talking to a radio programmer at the time. I was like, you're not going to need hosts or anything like that, or voiceover artists or anything like that soon. He's like, what you mean? I was like, well, AI going to be able to do this? What you going? He's like, ah, you're going to be able to tell. And it's like, at this point, literally, people are using AI. Here we are, a decade later. People are using AI to record these things and do these things, and half the time people can't tell. And you're seeing all the conversations about, okay, so is it, digital works of right? Who owns the rights? Who actually created it? Well, is it actually new creation? Because we know AI is just pulling from what's already been done, so nothing new is being made. So what's the input here? Like, there are real questions. And as we see, y'all don't really care about the quality of the actual art itself. We see that in in what
Oh, we see that in just basic media.
in music. Y'all are just like, if it's something there and it entertains me for even 30 seconds, hell, take a TikTok reel. All I need is 30 seconds. So what's going to be the effort behind trying to put out actual quality or actually really making real art if y'all ain't even out here consuming it or needing it in your lives? Y'all are just fine with stuff that doesn't matter, doesn't mean anything.
And
That's
I feel you, it is a scary, scary world to have to come into. I had always heard about this movie and I knew references from the movie, but I had never just sat down and watched this movie.
which movie?
And I did last week. The Matrix. Hey folks, if you haven't watched The Matrix recently, just the first one. If you haven't watched it recently, go rewatch it. Please look at where we're going to.
And it's either it's a combination of either the Matrix or something like Ready Player One.
Oh, Ready Player One is definitely up there.
I'm sure there's going to be some. I gotta imagine there's going to be some kind of Hunger Games thing, and like there's going to like you're not going to have everything you need, or like I I don't know, and it's scary. Like for example, top of this year, people were like, "Oh, we got some time with Trump. He's not. He's going to take his time." And it's just like I was like, "No, this mug gonna get in office and hit this thing fast." It's been 6 months, and look at where we are and all the shit we've had to deal with in
Six months.
months. Everything is moving so fast. I don't know how to
6
prepare
months.
for ahead at this point right now. Like, right. It's like I don't know because I don't know what to freaking prepare for, and I don't know whether it's coming tomorrow or I got some time. It's like
It's a very unpredictable timeline. And like I just said, it just doesn't appear that there's a ceiling. You know what I'm saying? Like I felt like past and years before, we felt like, oh, this is gonna stop here. Okay, we're gonna get to this point, and then something new might happen, but we know that's at least the cutoff for that. You know what I'm saying? But this right here, this is new. This is uncomfortable to me, even as a 23-year-old. I'm just like, what is gonna be the quality of life? I think that's what the real question is. What is gonna be the quality of a life lived through AI?
like that's going to be a factor. It's literally going to be how can I pump you out of everything I need to get out of you? And how do I keep you in a state that I can do so as I freely choose? And the balance of that is being able to give you enough resources so then I can be able to increase or move. Like I don't know what this freaking balance is going because nothing seems to be able to support itself. There's no pleasant picture being painted.
Nah,
Like, even if it's not as bad as we think it may be, it's like, it's still bad. It's not like, oh, AI is going to help innovate and push these things forward. And it's like, no, if anything, it's making everybody more equal. And that's a shitty place to be.
please imagine. Let's just. I'm telling you, this is where we at now. Imagine someone who has worked years in their field. They have spent time. They've had losses. They've had some wins. They spend years doing this, and they're up for a job position, and they don't get the job position because someone just knew AI better. It is a scary world to live in. And I joke about this all the time with people that's my age, but I'd be like, oh, there's no way that we're gonna be parents. There's no way we're gonna be the doctors, the nurses. There's just absolutely no way. Because none of you all are serious. You want me to come into your doctor's office in 30 years and expect for you to give me a colonoscopy? What? You.
I mean, you can see it in the way. One of the cool things about growing up in the 90s was it seemed like the machine had perfected itself to an extent. You had all these different demo, you had, cable had expanded. So there's a lot of channels, but people are just now saying, oh, it's too many. But it's not like, oh, you still find, so you got your new kid dedicated channels like Nickelodeon and Disney and stuff like. So it's these doors being opened, and I think allowed groups to be targeted in ways that we had never seen before, and things were
Right,
colorful,
right.
bright. Brands had identities, pattern. Like you saw these things, you recognize, you knew what they are. Everything now is becoming so bland. Everything is using the same font. You can't tell one thing apart from another. Everybody's using the same color scheme. Everybody, and it's just like, where is the personality? Where's the individuality? Where is the standoutness? No, everything right now is seemingly turning into a big pile of mush. It's all the gray, same thing versus back in the day where even if we were experiencing something similar, based off where we lived, it could be different because you had different regional things being imparted. But no, because of the internet now, we're all on the same level, same playing field. It's all the same, and that is a crappy existence. Like
It
nobody has truly over the past easily decade. Sentiment is down. People are like, "What the? Like, this is not cool."
Nah. It's that's what it is. It's just a long, big sigh.
But it's weird. And especially because a lot of us are like, yeah, this is not the world we were grown up for. Like we were not raised, and
Right, right,
it's
right.
just like, okay, we just here figuring this out. And granted, everybody's been figuring it out, but the speed at which we were having to figure it out, like this joke of millennials are tired of every life changing event, because yeah, it feels like we're having a life changing event every week versus at
It
least these
used to
things
be
spaced
every
out.
few years.
Or it would be something major, like 9/11, major life changing event. That
Then
was,
the next one didn't happen for roughly a couple years later.
you
You know
know,
what I'm saying? So it's just like,
I'm curious as a young brother in this who's I'm sure what trying to save for a house. You envision yourself getting married to that little lady you got, maybe a kid or two. A nice house in the countryside with your white picket fence or whatever it may be. Sipping on a little something in the backyard while they run around. If it's not like hell, my child can't go outside during the day in the
it's
summertime because it's
too
too
hot.
damn hot. I like it
And I keep
sucks.
saying, this just couldn't have been that sun we was
Oh
outside
hell
doing.
no. Ain't no way. Ain't no way this the same heat.
This can't be the same sun, bro.
Cause
This can't be the same sun that was outside when I was trying to sneak some. Well, I mean, I wasn't trying to sneak. I had to get water out the hose pipe because I wasn't coming back in and out that house wasting a good ass.
right. And because you're not gonna tell me that my parents was like, oh yeah, go out in that heat, go out in that heat and just make it. No, like no. Because literally my son still is like, I want to go outside. It's like, no, you go out there, you could die. Like
Cooked.
cooked. There's got to be a difference. Cause this is just especially like down here in like I'd be so angry right now because like I want to teach my little man how to ride a bike. The heat don't go away till like 8:30 9 p.m. here. It's dark outside finally at that point.
Bro, it
Like
is so hot outside. I don't think people realize how hot outside it is.
and it's like we finally got the time because it's not like when the weather's decent down here in Texas. It's the school year. I can't.
Right,
He's got stuff to
right.
do. It's yeah. Life, I don't know. Is just I don't know where it's going. I don't, and you can't
There
tell.
is a, I want people to put this in perspective. There is a heat wave in Chicago.
It's hotter in New York right now than here in Texas, which is wild because it's hot as and humid as fuck right now here in Texas. But in New York, they're talking like it's the temperature where your body can't react. That's how hot it is up there right now during this heat wave. That's crazy.
At the beginning of the year, we just had snow in New Orleans. Not just a little bit, a lot.
Have you seen some of those? What they say what global warming will do to different areas? Like Europe is essentially going to become colder, and we're just going to cook. Like
And Europe becoming colder is such an anomaly because it's already cold. It's already cold and muggish.
it's dreary. Let's put it that way. But um, yeah, it's again. I said we need a little bit of break because it's just a lot being thrown, and like you can look at the past 2 weeks because it's been 2 weeks since that man's birthday, where we had largest protests in many cities outside around all the bill. All think of all the stuff that's happened in the past 2 weeks, and they're not even talking about uh, much of it. Much of it. Think of what happened Saturday night. Turned around, and here we are this week. They're not talking about what those actions were.
Nope.
Nobody talk. Oh, okay, okay. We're just gonna skip over that part because I'm tired. I'm not gonna lie. I am tired.
Oh, promise me, when we get off of here, I'm going to take a nap. I'm telling you, man, it is just so it's disheartening, honestly. You know what I'm saying? It's disheartening that somehow, some way, and I think people need to also understand this. We're feeling this way as Americans in a rather free country. Free, quote unquote. Um, can you imagine what other third world countries might be experiencing during this time as well?
Yes, I can. Having not necessarily lived in a third world country, but having lived in some other places, you'll find that they do feel some things, but then you also find because of some ways, depending on how the said country is set up, there are some
They don't
concerns
have to deal with these problems.
they don't have to deal with.
It's a very true statement. More money, more problems.
Is there a positive spin on this, young blood?
Oh no.
I'm
The positive spin of the day, Brandy and Monica just announced that they're going on
okay.
tour.
I'm going. I
Bro, they got a New Orleans show. Hold up. My homeboy just sent it this morning.
December 7th is the Houston show. I will be buying tickets. Let
Oh,
me.
that's Houston. December 5th is New Orleans. Oh, bruh. It's Brandy Monica with special guests Kelly Rowland,
And money long.
Money Long, and Jamal Roberts, the 2025 American Idol winner. Oh,
I just hope Brandy and Monica make it to the end.
no, seriously. That's
'Cause
exactly what I was thinking
I'll
about
be
in my
mad
head.
if I
I was
buy some
like,
tickets.
they don't have the best history.
Hell, that's why it took till this week to get the official announcement. We knew of this a couple months ago, but contracts weren't necessarily being signed because they were fighting over some things, a la SWV and Escape, if anybody remembers that effort from a couple years ago. But no, like I'm not one who gets excited for a lot of shows necessarily. Like there's,
True, true. I agree
this
with that.
this is one that I was like, okay, yeah, I needs to. This is right in my pocket. Let me tell y'all before we get out of here, the biggest crush I had on Monica. Monica.
Monica?
Oh, Monica. Something about that little hood edge she got. It's just that it did something to me. I remember back when in high school. So it was about this had to be like '03. So just when she dropped her third album After the Storm.
Uh-huh.
Back in my day, used to be a place called Six Flags. And so they would do some summer concert series sometimes. And
I didn't know that.
so Monica was doing a show in Jersey, Six Flags Great America in Jersey. I was like, we got to go see Monica. So it was free too. So it was hot, but summer day. So it was funny, I had on a Stephon Marbury white New York Knicks jersey, no, because hot with the matching white fit. Oh boy, your boy was clean for high school. It was during the era. I wish I still had the flip phone because once again, I'm tall. I'm in all white, standing out in that summer heat. I know Monica saw me on stage.
Oh yeah, she
At
saw
one point,
you, bro.
because at one point, and it was an old Motorola flip, so bad camera too. I caught a picture of her on the stage pointing at me.
Oh,
You want to tell me a young nigga being in love?
oh,
Like Monica just holds a special place in my heart. Boy, I wish I could find that picture because I was like, I caught it. I caught it. Um, but anywho, yeah, Brandy and Monica, sure enough, that's right. That's right in my pocket. I will. I will.
that's gonna be lit. I know Uncle Charlie coming, but I don't know if I want to see Uncle Charlie right now. You know what I'm saying? I don't. Does he? But I did want to bring this up because I wanted to ask you: does he still put on a great concert?
I mean, I don't. I've never seen Uncle Charlie live, but the music is good. So I
Oh
mean,
no, the music is gonna be
like,
solid, and I know the music is gonna be solid, but I like to be blown away. And I don't know if Uncle Charlie at this point.
I'm not going to an Uncle Charlie show to be blown away. Hell, I'm not going to the Brandy Monica show expecting to be blown away. I'm just going to hear some of my favorite stuff being sung live.
You might have a point there. You might have a point there. I think the you might actually have a point right there.
Look, see, here's y'all's problem. Here is y'all's problem. Y'all expect everything to blow you away. Everything's not going to do that.
That is true.
And y'all are very quickly to take the stuff that doesn't blow you away and put it into, okay, this is a not good pile, period. And so y'all are sitting here like, well, we got this big pile of stuff that just sucks because it didn't blow me away. But my pile of stuff that blows me away is so small, I'm not content with it. And y'all are like, where's the good stuff? Everybody, back in the day is talking about, yeah, they got big piles of stuff that blew them away. Well, it's because a little bit lower threshold. And also we were blazing some more trails, like y'all to the point.
Almost definitely.
I don't know how y'all blaze trails going forward. Like y'all are in a tough spot with that. I'm not gonna lie. Like
It's very yeah. That's yeah.
yeah. It's in a weird spot of trying to find out what is that next avenue for stuff for y'all to just blaze. Cause so far outside of TikTok, which ain't much of a accomplishment there, is it's not much. And so yeah, I'll give y'all credit there. Y'all got a hard battle to fight, but y'all ain't prepped for it either, apparently.
Nope.
Woo, yeah, we're about to go on break. We'll see y'all hopefully at the end of the summer, assuming World War III hasn't taken us all out. Took on the sidewalk. I who knows what else is gonna pop up? Don't know. Stay safe out there, y'all. Like, yeah, like honestly, yeah. Stay safe out there because they scooping folk up.
It's gonna be interesting. What is it? I think that's next week already. Wow. It's gonna be interesting to see what may or may not pop off at Beyonce's July 4th concert in DC for the Cowboy Carter tour.
Will we maybe
I'm
will we
waiting.
maybe have to rejoin quickly? Maybe I don't know.
We might, depending on what happens.
We'll see what happens. But anyway, yeah, take care of yourselves. Like, share, subscribe, check out any of the previous episodes, and hopefully we see you on the other side. Until then, I'm Jay Clark. That's Xavier D. Lewis. It's Y and Z, a conversation between the generations. And we'll catch y'all later.
Peace out, y'all.